The fun part of any simulation game is managing an egregious number of bars and panicking whilst trying to make sure you're using your time wisely. This means that most often the simulation games that offer the most interesting stories are dating sims. But even then, that's still dependent on you not catastrophically fumbling your run. The German-based Osmotic Studios, though, had an idea for a simulation game that I had never before seen. Published by Skybound Games, Close of the Distance is a simulation game with all the bars you'd expect of a good one and a deeply emotional narrative.
The Lord has taken my angel back under his wing.
Lazy pixel.
Oh, screw you all. Son, stay away from me!
Poor Zach. Give him a moment, Bean.
Within the title, Close of the Distance, you play as Angela, the oldest daughter of a small family in the quaint little town of Yesterby. Except there's a slight catch. She's dead. There's been an accident somewhere down the road. She went out late, she wasn't back for dinner, and now the cops are at her home. Yesterby is already recovering from another death that shook the village, and now Angela is gone too. But it does seem she can talk to her younger sister Connie, and so the two of them will attempt to team up and stop Yesterby from falling apart entirely. Guiding Connie as Angela means selecting things on the map with interactable prompts. Sitting down to read, write, knit, or talk to the various villagers are some of the various actions she'll be able to perform at your behest. On the left of the screen is a profile with her various objectives, the history of your choices, various mood bars, and her current status. If those bars, such as hunger or solitude, aren't filled, for example, she'll find more complex tasks more difficult, or she'll be unable to do them, so it's best to keep them filled. If you want to go over all of your options, you can simply click any of these bars, as well as the objectives, and you'll be given a zoomed out view of the village. This view will display any of the corresponding actions, and you can pause the clock to give yourself some time to process. It sounds fairly straightforward right up until you get access to the other characters, who you'll be managing simultaneously. It isn't just a case of completing the objectives as they appear, as many objectives offer choices with mutually exclusive results. Some lead to aesthetic differences, others affect relationships, and you can fail them. It won't net you a game over, but you will feel the pain. With only a limited amount of time at your disposal, I still have to wonder if it's even possible to clear absolutely everyone's objectives in just one playthrough. Theoretically, it should be possible, but it's also very difficult, and I haven't been successful yet. And you know what? Given everyone's mental state, even if you are prodding them, that's just how it goes. Close of the Distance is a very special type of simulation game, as it manages to carry a very melancholic feel whilst stressing you out in a fantastic dose of lunonarrative success. You can immerse yourself in the frustrations of the town further because of the gameplay mechanics. You can't just watch everyone at once, you'll even have to make choices as to who you listen to, and with the lack of a raw backlog, that's just a lack of information you'll have to deal with. The presentation of this game is immaculate. I adore the autumnal color scheme that makes Yesterby feel so homely and yet so cold. Houses are like little dioramas that have their walls and rooms become transparent so you can see what the characters are doing. The cast themselves are very expressively animated, enough that you can easily identify anything important from afar, even with the stylistically deformed models. What little is lost from the lack of facial expression in the character models is recouped tenfold in the voice acting. The voice work is phenomenal, especially considering how poignant and laden with emotional intensity this game's scenario is. Every actor has done a fantastic job.
With a heavy sprinkle of seashell and starfish imagery. Eli's favorite. Mom cast her vote for this one. Shabby chic. Grandma's couch never gets old.
When you couple those performances with some immaculate sound design and vocal songs, it creates a heavy atmosphere that is pitch perfect. And if you think it would be too much for you, you can rewind your save file. I wouldn't recommend doing so until you've completed a run for the first time, but I would highly recommend several playthroughs so you can see the ins and outs of the very well written cast. I had actually intended for my second playthrough of the game to be one that just intentionally messes things up for everyone. The cast is so interesting and I was so engrossed that I couldn't bring myself to do so just so easily. Closer the Distance is a unique take on the life sim genre. It creates an incredibly intimate experience that is freely accessible to all, whilst also presenting gameplay challenges that allows players who are fond of stressful time management to push their skills to the limit. Noisy Pixel is giving Closer the Distance a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group dedicated to bringing you guys the best news, reviews, previews, and more. Please stick around, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of our future content. Also, pressing the like helps a ton. We have a Patreon, and we've got weekly live streams going on, so check those out.
Noisy Pixel.